welcome back to the GSL Code A round of 48, session 1-2, aka the evening or night session. We are in our final best of 3. And so far things have been pretty aggressive and pretty quick today. As far as the evening session goes, we just saw MC dominate Bravo, making him look like a punching bag, and he will actually advance to play against Roro in the next round. And the winner of that, of course, will face Fantasy versus Finale in round 3 to decide who will get that Code S spot. So that's just a look ahead of the bracket. Now our next 2 players, I announced them before, talked about them briefly. Well, we're going to get some stats up on the screen here in just a moment about these 2 players. They're in the lobby. The fans are here and crazy and ready for these 2 players, especially one of them in particular. It is Sirius up against Jadon. Sirius over here on the left with a pretty... his record is not that strong. He's from the up and down matches. He looked really good very recently. I'm talking about the past few weeks. He's looked really strong. It's like suddenly he's done something different. Jadon in StarCraft 1, his ZVZ was almost unparalleled. Sometimes when he had faced Zero, he had some problems, but otherwise, man, he was a really good Brood War player. Everybody knows who he is. Everyone calls him handsome. He's 0-3 right now, though. Does he have enough experience now? Can he actually take out Sirius here in this ZVZ? That's what we're about to find out. The map is loaded. In fact, it's Whirlwind. I think they load the map so fast that we have to remake it. Because we didn't get to have the camera shot yet. Production botched that one a little bit here, but here is, of course, Sirius. He got a haircut recently. And here is, of course, the very well-known Jadon sitting in the booth over there with his undefeated shirt. I gotta say, the undefeated shirts look really good. I still haven't bought one yet because I've been so busy, but I think I'm gonna get one soon. Unfortunately for Jadon, though, his record is actually 0-3. Does not have that slash on the tally mark there. Oh, also, Jadon accidentally picked Terran, so that's why we had a regame. Now we're really going to start things off here. Epic So Sirius versus 8th Team's Jadon. You can see the logo for Epic's open at the bottom, the bull and the bear, and the Kespa logo, of course, as 8th Team is Kespa's 8th created team for Pro League. Of course, he still represents them even in the individual league. The map, as I said before, is Whirlwind, a very big map for ZVZ. We could see late game here. Anything is possible. This is the GSL Code A, brought to you, of course, today, especially as Lone Wolf. See you guys on Whirlwind.
And back up in the raves again. We got the crowd on the wave like it's a stadium. Call me the weatherman, it's about to be a great weekend.
One of 2 Zergs down here at the bottom left from the team FX Open. Named himself after a Harry Potter character. He is
FXO Sirius.
not so much Sirius Black, but Sirius Red right now as his player color. His opponent, fan favorite, Brood War star, very young, very talented. From Kespa's 8th team, he is
8th team, JD.
And, you know, Kespa's 8th team was formed based on taking fragmented players who had a lot of talent from disbanding teams like We Made Fox and MBC Hero. And in Jadong's case, Hwasong Oz disbanded, and 8th team took advantage of that, grabbed onto Jadong. A lot of people talking about, will the Kespa's 8th team actually survive? It was obviously intended as a placeholder. A lot of rumors going around about that. If it does not stick around, then who will replace it? Air Force Ace is already disbanding as well, so there's a lot of talk about Pro League next year, or if it'll even happen this year, or if Pro League will even continue. So a lot of discussion in and outside of Korea. Both players going for hatch first here, gas before pool. On a map of this size, doing anything else almost feels silly. And interesting Overlord path by Sirius. They both actually get the scout very early. But Sirius makes his Overlord go in such a way that he did see the hatchery. I take it back. The way it looked on the mini-map, it looked like he would have passed it, but I was mistaken. Right now, I'm actually sitting in between both monitors, as you know, so I have the preview screen, which shows exactly what you guys are seeing. I can look around at myself, but sometimes I feel like a cat. If you dangle two objects in front of a cat, you know, if you have one finger, the cat's following it, looking around, it's really easy for the cat to fall, but if you take a second finger and you spread them apart, the cat gets confused. That's how I feel right now. Except I'm a wolf, not a cat, but speed started for both players. Very identical builds. You can see about 22 difference in gas combined between the two players. That advantage goes to Sirius. Otherwise, everything is identical here, from Overlord build times to Queens. Even the Baneling Nest coming down at basically the exact same time for both players. Jadon with a slight lead there. Now, these positions are not as close as we could have. This map it's got a fairly wide open ramp at the natural. It also is not, it's not Antigua. It's not Daybreak. It's a map where if you get that spine up near the ramp, you're going to be okay. The Queen is actually standing at the top of the ramp here for Jaedong. He wants to stop the Lings in, but they get that speed boost on creep, and he will get inside. Not too useful to see anything in here right now. Seeing the Baneling Nest means that he may want to morph his own defensive Banelings back at home. He doesn't have to, though. And the slight lead on speed here for Jaedong also allows him to get into the main base. And he will get out promptly, but he does get a good spot on what's going on. Oh, nice block here by Sirius. Well, he doesn't actually decide to use it. It was just a rally. Gave him too much credit. And Jaedong's things will eventually be taken out here. He's trying to escape with them. Really nice rally. That was actually all waypointed, what he did just then. 4, 5 Banelings, in fact, morphing right now. And these are Sirius's Banelings that he's actually morphing right outside of Jaedong's base. Jaedong, though, already has his own Banelings morphed ready. This is a big risk. The Queens are here. They're ready. He targets down one Bane. And in the end, Jaedong is pretty happy with this trade. He doesn't really get much of anything done there. Until the 3 workers killed. Saves all the drones in the natural. Neither player has taken the first big step, started the Lair or the Roche Mooring. Who's going to do it first? The answer is Jaedong. With that defense, he felt pretty comfortable. These Lings are chasing each other in the middle of nowhere. Started Evolution Chamber first. Oh, look at that. That very rarely happens, where you attack a cocoon and then lose your Lings. Sirius is going double Evo Chamber. This is a really interesting opening. We sometimes see fast +1 Carapace, fast +1 for Roaches, but very rarely fast double upgrades. Jaedong actually is going to see this. And he's probably going to be a little bit confused. Oh wow, a great hit there by Jaedong. And the Queen's block. This will do virtually nothing. The drones are split here. He should go for the Larva. That was the best choice for him to make there. Great drone split by Jaedong, but Sirius did get the Larva. And he's keeping on the pressure with the this 1-1 upgrade start. But the thing is, Jaedong's about to have Roaches out. Then he's going to get Roach speed, which he just started now. And Sirius can't really afford to keep playing this like this. He's actually morphing Banelings within Jaedong's Queen range, and he didn't cancel that one. He also didn't cancel that one. This is really weird, what Sirius is doing right now. It's like he's punching a brick wall. His lair is so far behind. The one thing he's going to have going for him is 1-1 upgrades. By the way, 1-1 for Lings, not for Roaches and Infested Terrans. The later the game goes on, the less important that +1 for his Lings are going to be. Carapace is always good to have. But +1 for Lings? A little bit questionable. That Overlord is barely going to escape. This attack coming out from Jaedong is so scary. And he's got these Banelings back at home to defend. And that is basically the nail in the coffin for Sirius. That is a desperate spine crawl he's making right now. This is so many Roaches. He doesn't have Roach speed, but he's about to. That spine's going to have to be canceled. And in typical Sirius fashion for this game, no cancel. All the Banelings blow up. And JD gets all of his Banelings off in Sirius' mineral line. Queens are going down here. 1-1 is not even done for Sirius. It's the worst possible scenario for him here. He kills the Roaches as they spawn. And Jaedong looks like he is just going to end this game. Spreading his creep right now. Roach speed is done. Burrow is almost done. He can burrow his Roaches to escape and to heal them. And I think he's actually probably just going to hide behind this mineral line until he can do just that and reinforce. He's running circles quite literally around Sirius' Roaches right now with the speed advantage he has. Can hang out outside the base and burrow to get those hit points back now. He's about to have +1 as well. There's the burrow. Things are looking worse and worse for Sirius right now. He's trying to redrone. He made 4. Worker count is 40-34 in Jaedong's favor. 10 more Roaches, +1. The creep continues to be spread so he can reinforce faster. Sirius has nothing up his sleeve. He's got no spare cards. There's nothing in the deck. Nothing he can draw. You know, right now he's Neville Longbottom trying to hold here. Here come the Roaches. Tearing through Sirius' Roaches. GG, there wasn't even a chance. The crowd goes crazy. Jaedong is taking game 1. Solid defense. Very nervous, shaky, and awkward play from Sirius with his aggression. I mean, we watched him morph Banelings to die in Queen range on Jaedong's creep. He gave away so many units. His play just looked so nervous. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like he's not focused right now. Jaedong gets his player coach in here, having a word, making sure he doesn't get too confident, too complacent with his results so far. Cloud Kingdom is map number 2. This music, I feel, is very indicative of the situation Sirius is in right now. Everything comes down to this. It's very tense for him. He qualified last season. He was on a roll. He looked strong. But Jaedong may just end him here. ZBZ is not a matchup you want to be down a game in. No matchup is, of course, but ZBZ is one where it's a bit volatile. There's a lot of mind games that go into it. And right now, a ton of thoughts, I'm sure, are going through Sirius' head. Same can be said of Jaedong, but he doesn't have to worry as much since he's up a game here. Oh man, that Sirius face, that is actually just the face of someone who is in the situation that Sirius finds himself in right now. You find yourself in the situation, everybody has this when you're down a game in the booth. You sit there, you probably played in the online tournament before, you've probably been in this situation, you sit there in the booth, you try to figure out what you're going to do in game number 2. You had a plan for game number 1, it didn't work. You had a plan for game number 2, but you lost. Do you stick to the plan? Do you change things up? What do you do? It's ZBZ, it's a mirror matchup, there's so many mind games. Do you do a similar build that you did in game number 1 and then take your game 2 strategy into game number 3 if you win it? The map is different, everything is different. The map is up and loaded now for these two players. Jaedong from Kespa's 8th team is just one game away from getting into the up and down matches. Sirius, one game away of falling out of the GSL entirely. Who will take this second game? Let's find out on Cloud Kingdom. This is the final best of 3 of Code A for today, casted by Lone Wolf.
All over the radio and back up in the raves again. We got the crowd.